when you are telling a potential client about what it is that you do, be under no illusions, you are selling them. It is a sales process, whatever you want to call it. You are influencing or trying to persuade their decision to come on board or interact with your product or service. That's it. So today, we were at a business networking meetup thing in Melbourne, and the description of it was basically for people who are in business to come and hang out and interact and all this sort of stuff. It wasn't marketed as a classic like BNI meetup where people just pitch what they're doing. And that was exactly what it was. And we came across two of these guys who were really they were young, good looking entrepreneurs, right? And then I'm like, so tell me what you do, And then they came out with this waffle. So it's kind of an e-com. It's a bit of like, we connect people, we find sharp talent. We really just trying to build people up. We come from a people first approach. And I was like, so wait, what is it? What do you do? So you got an e-com brand? Well, yeah, no, like we work with e-com. I'm like, okay, this is confusing me now. Anyway, dug in. It's a multi-level marketing company. But they don't like using that word because of the connotation that comes with it. And that's totally fine because that negative connotation, one, is justified in a lot of cases. It's very unjustified in a lot of cases too. But it just made it feel what people think of when they think of a sales experience. Dodgy, beat around the bush, scammy, all of these things. And these are not the things that would represent by these guys. And what was funny is we met the other guy, the second guy, about half an hour into it, and he came up with exactly the same thing. And I was like, I bet you two do exactly the same thing. Then they got talking and they were in the same team. Out of all of the people in the exact same company, in the same team, and they each knew their mentors and blah, 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 blah. But we ended up having some amazing conversations with them just to analyze, cut the crap. If you do not know who you serve no one. Even if you have a product or service that is for everybody, that is really confusing marketing if you're talking to Deborah, who's 60, who's just divorced, or her partner has just died, who you can't relate to as a mid-20s male. And you would approach that conversation very differently to a person just like you who has just graduated university, doesn't want to climb the corporate ladder, wants career freedom, wants location, financial freedom, etc., right? That's the person that you can talk to because you have the experience there. And it's going to make your marketing more clear because you're going to solve the problem for them. What they were going about discussing was how they do these things. And I was like, look, as a potential buyer of whatever it is you're selling, I don't really give a damn about how, because I don't even know what you do yet, right? So anyone suffering with this same problem, read Alex Hormozi's $100 million offers. It is just a exceptionally clear way for you to understand exactly what problem you solve and who for. That's it. If you don't know that, it's really hard to discuss about it because it's waffly. You will confuse people. If people are confused, they will not trust you. And if they don't trust you, they will never interact with you. We then went on to talk about loads of other things, about building businesses and tracking metrics. And between these two guys, they've put in a year's worth of work and they've made one sale. And we kind of had to break it to them that just being like, in terms of a repeatable system or a thing that's going to build trust, you don't have any proof that your thing works. In fact, you have the exact opposite, that you've put in all this time and effort and nothing's happened. And so it might be time to switch up or at least change strategy. You've put in enough time here to test this. No, it hasn't worked so far. Doesn't mean it's not going to work ever, but if you currently don't have skills and systems that you can help other people with, which is the best thing you can do, then you can leverage other people's systems. And that's kind of what they tried to do. They kind of came on and said, well, like, what you can do is you can come on board and we've got this training thing and you'll learn from my mentor too, and he does this. And then I was like, okay, cool. So tell me the stats on average. In the first 6 months, if we do exactly what your program says, how many people am I signing up? He was like, oh, well, I don't know that number. Okay, how much money am I going to make on average? Oh, well, we're not sure. Okay, how much time do I have to put in? And just started going through all these questions, and there was just a severe lack of knowledge, of clarity about what it is you do and expected outputs for the effort. And all you've got to do is test it. That's it. And if you are at the point where you are creating a thing and you do not have these the answers to these questions, then you give it away for free. You get people to come in to test the product out so that you can get these numbers for proof that whatever you are selling is valuable, right? And then we ended up coming back around to having this conversation of being like, well, if I need to develop this skill so that I can contribute and give to these people, how do I go about doing that? And I'm like, do it. Learn to sell. Like, how much have you personally sold? And then when we dug into that, neither of them has sold anything. So they're not selling, they're trying to build teams before having sold stuff. But if I came up to you and saying, hey, you've asked me what I do, I get to travel the world, I jump on 3 sales calls a day, that's it, 3 hours a day, then I'm done, and I take home about $5,000 a month for that, and I don't have to do anything outside of those hours. Complete location freedom. It's pretty sweet. Most people in the UK would turn around and say, okay, I'm listening, what, how, that sounds like a better deal than I've got. But then I would actually explain what I do. And that builds in the confidence. And like, could you imagine talking to this prospect and a sale comes through on your phone, like ding, oh sorry, that was a close coming. Nice, that was just a payment. Proof there and then, right? It makes what you say much more believable, and they're much more likely to join, to participate, and then you actually have the proof to do stuff. Get proof. Don't lie. Tell the truth. State the facts of the things that you do have, that you have done, that you know for sure. And if you don't know these things, go and do it. That's it. It's that simple. Find a way, get it done. But don't pull the wool over people's eyes and tell them a mystical story about something that might not happen, because you have no proof as if it's happened before, right? That's it. So if this is you, you work in sales, and that's okay. But help people. Listen to what they actually need, and if they're the right fit, they will tell you. Lead by example. Be like, hey, this is what I do if you're interested. Cool. Then I can tell you more and be like, I'm not sure it's a good fit for you because, you know, you are very reliant on your income right now, or you have a kid and that's maybe challenging. And they're like, oh, well, I've got enough money so I can sort that out for 6 months. But, oh, that's enough time, because within 6 months, this happens. But without that information, you would never know. You can't have those conversations. Very interesting. But I remember being there at the start of the entrepreneurial journey, and it's all wish-washy, but also very simple and clear and obvious. But then when you actually ask for actions, that they don't know what to do, and that's okay. But you have to figure that out. That's the first step. All right. Or just throw shit at the wall and see what sticks. That's it. Peace.